more information about this suspect. We have a name to tell you, and this is according to multiple sources and our team of reporters covering federal law enforcement. Tom Winter, Mike Cosner, our colleagues. Tyler Robinson is the suspect in custody. He is from Utah. He's in custody and with state authorities in Utah, born in 2003. And so Tyler Robinson is the name that, according to multiple sources, is the suspect who is in custody.
Stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this...
Stop whatever you're doing, because what you are about to hear will shake you to your core. Picture a courtroom packed with reporters and cameras, the nation holding its breath. In a voice that cracked like thunder, the accused killer of Charlie Kirk confessed the unthinkable. Tyler Robinson did not simply admit to pulling the trigger. He revealed he had been paid by a powerful political party to silence Charlie Kirk forever. Those words detonated through the room. Panic rippled as journalists shoved one another, striving to break the story. Erica France, Charlie's widow, broke down, clutching a photograph of the moment her husband had humiliated a rival leader in a debate. That debate had gone viral. Millions had watched Charlie dismantle his opponent, and now that same opponent sat shaded by suspicion. Months after that fiery confrontation, Charlie was dead, and the man across the courtroom pointed straight at the politician who had lost that night. Prosecutors rose, waving damning folders, secret bank transfers, encrypted messages, deleted phone logs. An FBI insider testified that investigators had recovered a chilling line from erased communications mission complete. "Payment ready." Gasps filled the gallery. A juror stood trembling, saying they had been threatened with harm to their family should they speak the truth. What began as a murder trial had become a national scandal threatening to rip the mask off America's political elite. As Erica's tears echoed in the room, she raised her voice. "If there is no justice today, then history itself will betray us." Millions, watching online, realized the case had morphed into something larger than Charlie's death. This felt like the soul of a nation being debated in public. Silence fell in the courtroom, unlike anything witnessed before, as Tyler leaned forward, eyes trembling, lips quivering, and spoke words that detonated like dynamite. "Yes, I was paid." He named those who had paid him as powerful figures from the opposition party, claiming they used him because Charlie could not be silenced any other way. People gasped and some shouted. Reporters bolted, pushing breaking alerts out across the internet. Hashtags exploded on social platforms. The judge pounded his gavel trying to restore order, but the storm could not be contained. Prosecutors presented documents tracing secret payments from accounts linked to the opposition into Tyler Robinson's hands. Encrypted transfers, offshore accounts, everything on record. The lead attorney declared this was no random act of violence, but a planned, executed assassination orchestrated from the top. The gallery roared, some cried, others called for accountability. Charlie's supporters felt vindicated. His opponents were plunged into nightmare and denial. Then came the moment seared into memory. Erica rose, shaking, holding the photograph of Charlie on stage, finger pointed at the rival, who now faced whispers of orchestration. Her voice broke as she said Charlie had spoken the truth that night, and for speaking, he was murdered. The image of her grief spread across social media within seconds, captioned by millions with words like "the truth is finally coming out." The defense screamed fabrication, calling Tyler a liar bent on saving himself by pointing fingers at powerful figures. But the prosecution had prepared. Deleted files were recovered from the rival leader's phone, messages retrieved from the cloud, and among them the chilling text, "Mission complete. Payment ready." Reporters stampeded toward the exits. Some fainted as the revelation detonated like a political bomb. A leaked clip circulated showing Tyler in a dim room with a man resembling the accused rival, exchanging an envelope. Grainy footage fueled speculation that Tyler's confession might be true. and the country watched the scandal grow. Inside the courtroom, the judge's face went pale as he declared the trial could not proceed until security for everyone was guaranteed. The gavel slammed, chaos erupted again. Some screamed, others sobbed. Tyler was led away, his confession reverberating across the nation. The room emptied, and one thing was clear: this was no longer about a single death, but about power, corruption, and a conspiracy that could topple institutions. Across the country, people asked the same chilling question: if they could silence Charlie Kirk, who would be next? The courtroom had become a battlefield of truth, lies, and betrayal, every camera fixed and every microphone ready to capture the next word. And as Tyler's confession echoed, as FBI documents exposed payments, and as Erica demanded justice, the world watched and waited for the answer to the simplest, most terrifying question: who ordered the hit? Outside, protests swelled. Supporters chanted for accountability, while opponents insisted the evidence was doctored. Hashtags trended, footage looped on air, and the courthouse became a fortress under heavy guard. Erica, escorted from the room, warned that if justice were denied, the country would not heal, her plea searing into public conscience. The courthouse transformed into a fortress overnight. Armed guards lined every corner. Barricades sealed the streets, and helicopters circled above like predators. What had begun as a murder trial had spiraled into a national crisis. Protesters filled the streets waving banners with Charlie Kirk's face, chanting for justice, while protesters screamed that it was all fabricated political theater. America was not only divided, it trembled on the edge of collapse. Inside the tense courtroom, Tyler Robinson sat slouched, his shoulders heavy as if every confession had stripped away his soul. Across the aisle, Erica France clutched Charlie's photograph to her chest, her eyes swollen from endless nights of grief. The judge entered with a face pale and fearful, as though he too realized history was being rewritten in that chamber. The prosecution wasted no time, slamming a USB drive onto the desk. "We've obtained something new," the lead attorney declared. Screens lit up, playing hidden camera footage that shattered the room like glass. The video showed the rival leader in a smoky backroom with Tyler Robinson, laughing, shaking hands, and uttering the chilling words: "Once he's gone, the stage is ours. Payment will double after the job is done." Gasps filled the hall. Erica collapsed into her lawyer's arms, screaming Charlie's name. Tyler covered his face, sobbing uncontrollably. The defense froze, speechless as their entire case crumbled in front of the world. Outside, news stations cut into regular programming, broadcasting the clip on a relentless loop. Social media ignited with hashtags like #SmokingGun and #LeaderExposed, and millions flooded comment sections with rage and disbelief. Charlie's old debate clips resurfaced, now viewed as the fearless words of a martyr silenced for truth. But the shock did not end there. The FBI released another bombshell. An encrypted document leaked by an insider linking assassination funds not just to one leader, but to an entire political network. Dozens of high-ranking officials were implicated. The courtroom erupted in chaos. The judge pounded his gavel, shouting for order, but no one listened. Reporters screamed questions, spectators surged, guards wrestled to maintain control. A juror stood trembling, shouting that his son had been followed home the night before and threatened if he did not change his verdict. The words ripped through the courtroom like a gunshot. Hysteria broke loose. Some people cried, others bolted for safety. Suddenly, the lights flickered, plunging the room into brief darkness. Gasps, screams, and footsteps filled the void until the lights returned, revealing red paint splattered across the defense table like blood. A warning, a message. Erica clutched her chest, whispering through tears, "This isn't just a trial, it's war." Outside, the nation boiled over. protests escalated into riots. Fires lit up city blocks. Police in riot gear clashed with angry crowds demanding the rival leader's arrest. Clips of Erica crying in court went viral, fueling the fury. Memes branded the accused as an American tyrant, his face plastered with the word "killer" in bold red letters. Inside the courthouse, the defense tried one last desperate claim, insisting the footage was fake, doctored, a political hit job. But the prosecution countered with forensic experts who confirmed the recording was 100% authentic. The defense fell silent, their client's political empire collapsing in real time. Then came the judge's announcement. His voice cracked as he declared the trial could not continue. The threats, the violence, the overwhelming evidence, this has gone beyond the scope of a courtroom. This is a matter of national security. The words left the chamber stunned. Erica sobbed harder, begging not to delay, pleading not to bury Charlie's truth again. The audience roared in agreement, but guards escorted them out. As Erica left, cameras swarmed, capturing her tears. She cried that they killed Charlie because he spoke the truth and warned that if the case was silenced, justice in America would die forever. Those words spread like wildfire across news broadcasts and social media, clipped into millions of posts replayed endlessly. The country was unraveling under the weight of secrets exposed, and then came the cliffhanger no one saw coming. Late that night, Erica was being driven home under heavy security when shots rang out near her convoy. Tires screeched, windows shattered, panic erupted as the SUV swerved. Police scrambled as news of the attack broke within minutes. Social media exploded with fear and rage. Was this another attempt to bury the truth? Was Erica the next target? The nation froze. Headlines screamed of an assassination plot part 2. Images flooded the internet of Erica's blood-stained photograph of Charlie lying on the courthouse steps, captured by a journalist and shared millions of times. America gasped in silence, and the chilling question echoed everywhere: who really ordered the hit, and how far would they go to silence the truth? Stop for a moment, take a deep breath. What the world had just witnessed was not simply another chapter of a courtroom drama, but a tragedy so explosive it felt like America itself was tearing apart. Charlie Kirk's death was not just an assassination, it was a silencing, a voice crushed for being too fearless, too unyielding. Tyler Robinson's confession rattled the walls of justice. FBI documents exposed a political empire built on blood money, and Erica's cries for justice pierced the hearts of millions. If a leader could be killed in broad daylight, if jurors could be threatened at home, if a widow herself could be attacked simply for demanding the truth, then what meaning did justice have anymore? This story was no longer about Charlie alone. It was about every voice that could be silenced, every truth that might be buried, every life erased without consequence. And America was left with one haunting question, echoing louder than all the rest: who ordered the hit and who would pay the price? The courthouse had turned into a symbol of chaos and fear. Its walls, once meant to represent justice, now stood as barriers holding back a storm. Tyler Robinson sat in the witness box, his hands shaking, sweat dripping from his brow, the weight of his confession pressing down on him like chains. Every camera lens remained fixed on his trembling frame, every microphone stretched to capture his next word. The silence was suffocating until he leaned forward, his voice cutting through the air like a lightning strike. Yes, I was paid by powerful men who wanted Charlie Kirk silenced forever. The words ripped through the courtroom, piercing every corner. Gasps erupted from the gallery. Erica clutched her chest, sobbing uncontrollably as her cries echoed in the chamber. The audience sat stunned, the weight of the revelation pressing down on them like a crushing storm. The prosecution wasted no time seizing the moment. They lifted stacks of documents high into the air, waving proof of financial transactions, encrypted transfers, offshore accounts, all traced back to Tyler Robinson. The prosecutor thundered that this was no coincidence, but a cold-blooded conspiracy to eliminate a voice too dangerous to be silenced in debate. The defense scrambled desperately, shouting objections, calling the accusations lies, but their words were drowned by the roar of outrage that filled the hall. Then came the moment that shattered the internet. Erica rose from her seat, her tears glistening under the harsh lights. In her hand, she raised a photograph of Charlie standing tall on a debate stage, fearless and unwavering as he demolished his opponent. Her voice cracked but carried through the silence. They couldn't destroy him with words, so they destroyed him with bullets. The courtroom erupted once more as journalists shoved past each other to get out, screaming into their phones, desperate to break the story first. Within minutes, hashtags surged online, #Justice for Charlie, #Killer in a suit dominating every platform. The fire outside the courtroom spread even further when a leaked clip appeared online within the hour. Grainy and shaky, but unmistakable, the footage showed the rival leader, who had once been humiliated by Charlie in debate, sitting in a private room with Tyler Robinson, whispering and handing him an envelope. Millions watched, shared, and raged. Back inside, the courtroom was rocked again when an FBI insider took the stand. His face was grim, his tone chilling as he revealed the recovery of deleted messages from the rival leader's personal phone. One read, "Mission must be completed. Payment is ready." The silence that followed was suffocating, broken only by Erica's uncontrollable sobs. Jurors exchanged terrified glances, and then, in a shocking turn, one juror rose trembling, confessing that they had been threatened. "They told me, if I vote to convict Tyler, my family will not survive." The judge's gavel slammed desperately, but order had long vanished. Guards rushed to contain the chaos as the trial dissolved into hysteria. Across the nation, people stopped in their tracks to watch. Screens in homes, offices, and streets replayed the footage. Memes circulated online depicting the rival leader as a puppet master. Viral posts spread like wildfire, one reading, "They killed him because he couldn't be bought. Now his blood is on their hands." The defense made one last attempt to paint Tyler as unstable, desperate, a liar clawing for survival. But then the prosecution unleashed another devastating blow. Surveillance logs, coded emails, and bank statements tracing every dollar to accounts tied to the opposition's power structure. The courtroom became a volcano ready to erupt. Erica collapsed in tears, whispering Charlie's name. Tyler bowed his head, muttering, "They told me it was the only way." The judge, visibly shaken, declared the trial postponed, citing security risks too great and evidence too explosive to proceed. The words barely left his lips before chaos detonated outside. Helicopters hovered, protesters clashed, and chants for justice shook the streets. America was no longer simply watching, it was burning with rage. As Erica was escorted out of the courtroom, her face streaked with tears, she uttered words that froze millions. "If justice is denied today, this country will never heal, and Charlie's blood will haunt them forever." The media replayed her voice on a loop. Social platforms lit up with hashtags like #who ordered the hit, each post amplifying the fire consuming the nation. The courthouse, barricaded and militarized, stood like a fortress under siege. Armed guards lined its perimeter, helicopters circled, and barricades pressed protesters back. Inside, Tyler Robinson slouched in defeat, while Erica held Charlie's photograph close as if it were the only piece of him she had left. The prosecutor unveiled new evidence, hidden footage recorded in a smoky backroom where the rival leader laughed and promised doubled payment once the assassination was complete. Gas shattered the room, Erica screamed Charlie's name, and Tyler sobbed uncontrollably. The defense collapsed, their case in ruins, their client's empire crumbling. The revelations continued. An encrypted document leaked by an insider tied not just one man, but an entire network of political elites to the murder. Dozens of high-ranking officials implicated, their names swirling in whispered chaos. The courtroom shook with panic, and the judge's voice thundered that this had transcended the scope of justice. This was no longer just a trial, it was a matter of national security. Then the lights flickered, the room plunged into terrifying darkness, and when the power returned, red paint smeared across the defense table like blood. Gasps filled the chamber. Erica whispered, trembling, "This isn't just a trial, it's war." Outside, the protests turned violent. Fires burned, crowds clashed with riot police, and images of Erica's grief spread like wildfire. The accused leader's face was plastered with captions branding him murderer and traitor. The defense cried foul, insisting the evidence was fake, but forensic experts confirmed its authenticity. Their silence was damning, and then came the most harrowing moment. That night, as Erica was driven home under heavy security, gunfire shattered the convoy. Windows exploded, tires screeched, panic filled the night. News of the attack broke within minutes. Social media boiled with rage and fear. Was this another attempt to bury the truth? Was Erica the next target? The image of her blood-stained photograph of Charlie lying on courthouse steps spread across the world. The nation froze. Headlines screamed of an assassination plot Part 2. America gasped in silence, staring into the abyss of corruption and fear. And the question that echoed in every home, every office, every street was simple, chilling, and unavoidable. Who really ordered the hit, and how far would they go to silence the truth? This was no longer about Charlie alone. This was about the death of truth itself, and the desperate battle to bring it back.